In this episode, I'm going to share with you the 5 keys to design your own morning routine. Welcome creators, artists, smart professionals, and all those ready to take action and create a passion-centered lifestyle. This is another episode of the Creative Action Podcast. I'm your host, Bruno Flow. Let's unlock greater levels of flow, freedom, and fulfillment together. This is a podcast version of a morning routine crafting tutorial I made in Notion, and I'm sharing on the description of this episode. If you are interested in checking a more exhaustive written version of this, check the link in the description. Want to be more disciplined, more efficient, more productive? Stay tuned for practical, real-life advice based on first-hand experience and coaching techniques. Before diving in, I'm Bruno Flow. I'm a professional coach, software developer, and artist. I guide creators to embrace a path of mastery and achieve creative self-realization. I do this by helping them to design a creative vision, install the required systems to pursue it, and take action with consistency and accuracy towards their goals. I have done this for myself, creating a lifestyle in which I'm able to create video games, hone my flamenco guitar skills, travel to Thailand to fight and train Muay Thai, cultivate a deep spiritual practice, and create purpose-based businesses and relationships. If you want to know more about me and my work, go to brunoflow.com and get access to all my free resources. This episode is for you if, for whatever reason, you want to install a morning routine, but you struggle to take action, you struggle with discipline, perhaps social pressure or immediate gratification has been distracting you, making it difficult for you to start. There are 3 potential problems on this situation. The first, lack of clarity. You may not fully understand the impact this habit can have in your life once installed. Lack of discipline. You struggle to implement the habit because you find resistance and uncomfortable emotions. Lack of a system. You don't have a system or you haven't established a clear plan to execute the habit, tracking progress and making adjustments as needed. If you resonate with any of these, then yep, you are on the right place. This episode is going to blast all these problems. Now, let's get right into it, into the 5 keys to design your own morning routine and take back control of your life. The number 1 thing that you need to do first to blast all these problems is, number 1, define the goals of your routine. I will repeat, you need to define the goals of your routine. This is crucial. I'm dropping this knowledge bomb right now as the first key because this is essential to consciously design any activity, plan, or strategy. Most people start the process of creating routines with good intentions, but they fail because they make the serious mistake of not setting practical goals for their routine. We want our routine, especially the one we execute every morning, to be very clear about its benefits. We want to know exactly why we are waking up at 5 a.m. You don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. without being really sure about the reason. If you are having any doubts about why is it important for you, then you will not do it. It all starts with the end in mind. What you need is to figure out what you ultimately want to achieve with this routine. What's the ultimate goal that this routine is trying to achieve? And this is not my invention necessarily. This is encouraged by Stephen Covey in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and also was endorsed by my own mentors. Ask yourself, what's the purpose? Why am I doing this? Right now, I'm going to share with you the guide with the questions to lay out the foundation, the strategic foundation for your routine. This is on the Notion guide I'm sharing on the description of this episode. To set goals for your routine, brainstorm a list of no more than 10 goals, purposes, and intentions for your morning routine. Use the following questions. What do you want to achieve with your morning routine? How do you want to feel once it's finished? What things do you want to have accomplished by the end of your routine? Why? What do you want to be prepared for? Why do you want to be prepared for it? What things need to be done without fail in the morning? So use this question as a guide. Maybe if you want to start a new career, or maybe you want to change professions, or you want to start a business, the morning routine will be one of your tools to ensure that you are moving in the right way. After doing this brainstorm, reduce everything to just 3 results. In example, let's say number 1, feel prepared for the day. Number 2, improve my body and energy every day. Number 3, build mental resilience and awareness. There is no right or wrong answer when it comes to what you want your morning routine to produce. Let's go to the second key for crafting your morning routine. Figure out what works for you. Adam Grant, a psychologist I follow on social media, a very, very cool guy, just shared in Threads, the social media app, an image of the routines of the greatest creatives in history. I'm going to attach that image in the notes of this podcast episode. You will see names like Victor Hugo, Voltaire, Pablo Picasso, Franz Kafka, and a lot more. And you know what? They all had different morning routines. So what I want to say with this is that there are no laws or rules regarding morning routines or routines in general. The only law is that this is highly personal and that you should be using your self-knowledge to create your own way of moving in life. To design a smooth flowing routine, we must identify all the actions, habits, and rituals that you want and need to be part of each morning. We are going to separate those into 5 categories. Category number 1 is proven activities. These are the things you do in the morning that have been shown to lead to positive outcomes for you in the past. An example, exercise, meditation, journaling, getting enough sleep. Category number 2, personal tricks. Things that may seem random or strange, but definitely help you feel confident, motivated, or contribute to a positive morning. This could be anything like lying in bed for 10 minutes and daydream before brushing your teeth, or playing a Tetris match, whatever it is. This is like the most random and personal things that you can think of. Mandatory. Things that need to be done in the morning, either because they have to be done or because if they are not done in the morning, they will not be done. Get dressed, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, pack your lunch, take out the trash, whatever is it that you need to do in the morning. The 4th category, desired but procrastinated. Things you do in the morning that you enjoy, but often don't do because you don't have time or feel like you don't deserve to do them. This might be, reading a novel, taking a slow bath, maybe spending time with loved ones, whatever is it that you would really like to do, but by some reason you don't find the time during the day. Then we have positive reinforcement, something you can do right away when you wake up that you really like and enjoy. The idea of this is to generate positive reinforcement and train your mind to feel motivated to perform the routine. This is something you are looking forward to happen, like having a good coffee or listening to your favorite song. And finally, environmental keys. anything that needs to be true in your environment for your routine to go smoothly. This might be a quiet place to sleep, putting your smartphone far from bed because if you put it very close, you will just snooze. A healthy breakfast waiting for you in the morning. These are all ideas to help you think and brainstorm what are the things that you want to incorporate in your morning routine. Now I'm going to dive into the next key of this episode, key number 3. Design your morning routine and put it on paper beforehand. Yes, put time in designing it beforehand. Craft it deliberately. Put it on paper. Take your time to think through this. The more you prepare, the more likely it is that you will actually do it. So how to design your morning routine? I will lay out a 4-step process inside this number 3 key. If all these seem too much for you or confusing, you can always refer to a document that I am sharing on the description of the episode. So this 4-step process is: step number 1, brainstorm a morning routine sequence. Step number 2, calculate total time of the morning routine. Step number 3, calculate waking up time. And step number 4, review and adjust as needed. We are going to define the number 1 step, brainstorm a morning routine sequence. You need to create a list of all the sequence of actions that you will do since the moment you wake up until the moment you start your day. Be specific around this. I will give you an example of a sequence. It could be something like: first, get up and turn off alarm clock, put a smartphone on airplane mode, brushing my teeth, go to the meditation room, put 20 minutes timer, sit down and meditate for 20 minutes, finish, grab Spotify and put creative action podcast, wink wink, do 30 minutes workout with the workout app, and so on. After you define this, you move to the second step, which is calculating total time. This will imply calculating the approximated time for this routine. You will not get it perfect the first time, for sure. But when you start actually doing your routine, you will be able to track your time with a chronometer or a timer and make it accurate. After you calculate the total time, let's say it's 2 hours. You need to calculate your waking up time. You will achieve this by subtracting this approximated time of your routine to the moment you need to start your day. So let's say you need to start your day at 8 a.m. This means that your wake up time will be at 6 a.m. This leads us to the last step, which is number 4, review and adjust. When doing this exercise, you will find yourself with the reality of your required waking up time. If you look at your new wake up time and feel uncomfortable about it, it's time to ask yourself some honest questions. Of the things I decide to do every morning, are any of them not necessary? What can I allow myself to drop? Would fully executing this routine lead to great days? What would happen if I actually executed this routine? Is it okay as it is? Should I just suck it up and wake up at the time I have decided? If not, what needs to be changed? Number 4 key for this episode on morning routine: treat this as an experiment. Yes, you will design a morning routine, you will try to execute it, and you will learn in the process. You will learn what works for you, what doesn't work. So I want you to treat this as a scientist who has an hypothesis of what might work, but is not really sure yet. That will be the right mindset. You will find new things about yourself for sure. In example, you may learn that it's difficult for you to engage in some type of activities during the morning. Like, I don't know, maybe for you it's impossible to meditate on mornings and you need to meditate on only during the evening. That's very personal. To treat this as an experiment, make sure to track precisely if you are executing the morning routine. Maybe it is in a paper, a Google Sheet, or an Excel, in which you are tracking every single day if you are doing the things you propose yourself to do. What I do, I will tell you what's my system. Very simple. I create a Google task representing the morning routine. I do a Google task for each one of the different sequence. I have the meditation sequence. At the end of the day, I just mark it as done, and so I can remember then at the end of the week if I properly did my meditation session. But it's important for you to have this kind of checklist in which you track yourself. I mentioned before about reviewing your results at the end of the week. So have you executed the morning routine all the days you commit yourself to? You had to make that question at some point, because they will bring you awareness about what are you actually doing. And this connects with the last key to craft your own morning routine. This one is super important. Number 5. If you don't succeed on the first try, relax and try again. This is not straightforward. You may backslide a few times. This has been true for me with all my habits and trainings. Meditation, martial arts, music, flamenco guitar, nutrition, everything. Always it happens to me that at some point I backslide in some way. What's important here is that if you backslide, you recognize that this is happening and you restart the process again without quitting. Don't start building assumptions about yourself that you are not made for this and that's bullshit. This is a matter of practice, self-knowledge, and training your brain, basically, to execute and engage in self-discipline. You build this muscle. Yeah, the brain is a muscle. I don't think so. Well, whatever. It's like a muscle. You train it and then it becomes easier. It becomes much easier when you get used to it. Not only to the habit, because of course, if you do the same thing for a long time, it will be very easy for you to do it because you are used to it. You have established a habit. But also, this training that you are doing, it will affect other areas of your life. You will feel it's more easier to take action in different areas. I don't know, maybe you are in your current job and you need to go and talk to someone, and normally you will get a little bit intimidated by it because you need to get out of your comfort zone and etc. But now that you are doing this kind of training with you're training your brain, basically, you will start to feel a difference. Like it's more easier to do difficult things. At least this will happen in the initial stages in which you will be pushing yourself. Then after a while, you will get used to your morning routine and everything, and it will become a second nature for you. So if you want to continue leveling up your discipline, you will need to do different and difficult things. So I laid out the 5 keys for you to start crafting your morning routine in your own terms, a very personal morning routine based on your own goals and not in what anybody else is telling you to do. This routine you designed is custom tailored for your own personality and your own goals. So the 5 keys were: number 1, define goals for your routine. Number 2, figure out what works for you. Number 3, design your routine and put it on paper beforehand. Number 4, treat this as an experiment. And number 5, if you don't succeed on the first try, relax and try again. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend that might also need it. And wish you the best with this process. If you start crafting your morning routine thanks to this episode or or you are using this system I'm laying out here, send me a message. Send me a message and let me know how it goes. Ask me any question you have. I will be very happy to answer anything that you may have in your mind. For me, it's important that you get value out of this. That's my my first priority right now with this podcast. And by the way, if you are interested in gaining more clarity around your current goals, your current situation, you want to change basically your direction in life, I recommend you to check my website because I have a lot of resources. One of them is the 5 Mindset Shifts for Clarity ebook that you can download for free. Also, you can book a clarity session with me for free, in which for sure you are going to raise your clarity. Thank you for listening and wish you an excellent week.